Hi, everyone. Welcome to this round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB, setting up the pitches. Daniel Norris, a pitcher out there in Detroit, is going to be fielding. We'll see how things go. I'm excited because Daniel's an amazing pitcher and one of the more fascinating people in baseball. Daniel, how you doing, bud?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely thrilled to do it. Fans are fired up. The app is the MLB Fans app. You can watch the show live there, comment, or be part of the show, which really is the key. Get your device fired up, whether it's your phone, your tablet, or your laptop, and ask Daniel a question directly. In the meantime, I'll read some questions. This one is from the MLB Fans app. It is GV17 Halos fan. We get them all for every player. Daniel, what's your advice for a 12-year-old baseball player trying to make it to the major leagues?
Yeah, I think, I just kind of revert back to when I was that age, and I just remember how much I love the game and how much I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. And I think the best advice I could give is just, it sounds cliche, but follow your dreams. I think at that age it seemed so far away, but now I look back and it was like, you know what, I loved it so much, I knew I was going to make it happen. So I think just, no matter what anybody tells you, follow your dreams.
Great advice. And there you have, folks, just like that. Get your questions in one way or the other. We'll get them to Daniel. He'll respond to you directly. Get FaceTime if you can. Get your device fired up and join us in the Edward Jones Chatting Cage, and you can get a chance to get your question like this fan right here. What's your name? What's your question for Daniel?
Billy from New York. And how are you, Daniel?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I like to analyze baseball, not just from a large perspective, but, the little things, too. I really think that you being in Detroit, you should be put on the mark like a Verlander. You're coming up strong, and you're one of the young guys that I like watching in the major leagues currently. I just want to know how you prepare yourself every 5 days. That's one of the things that people just don't realize about the sport.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. As far as preparation and routine goes, I think that's the most important thing, especially as a starting pitcher. Like you said, we throw every 5 days, so there's 4 days in between where you've got to do everything in your ability to prepare for that next fifth day. And that was something as soon as I got into pro ball that was just embedded in our heads as starters or pitchers. It's just you have to take care of your body and you have to prepare for the next your next start. And for me, that's a matter of getting in. I usually get 2 or 3 workouts in, throwing program. I've got a side today because I threw 2 days ago, so that's part of that routine that you have, and it's almost like a checklist. I wouldn't say a superstition, but you realize that you have these certain things you have to do to prepare for your next start.
An excellent question from Billy, well thought out and making me look amateurish. Well done, Billy. And Daniel, thanks for breaking us down on how that works out, how the workout is. And something that people don't understand about starting pitchers, it's not 4 days of golfing and then a start. There's actually a lot of work in between those things.
No.
I'm going to go now to the EDJ question of the day for Daniel Norris. First of all, most importantly, happy belated birthday. Sorry we missed it, but happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
So, Daniel, were you able to do anything fun to celebrate that birthday? And is there anything special the Tigers do for the players' birthdays?
It was just kind of another day at the ballpark for me. I was actually pitching the next day, so again, back to the routine question, I was kind of doing what I do the night before I pitch, and my parents actually got to come up to Detroit and sort of celebrate with me. We didn't do much. I think we just kind of went back and got something to eat and hung out, and it's always good to have family up and be around them. Just they love you so much, and the support that they give me is can't beat it. So it was a good birthday for sure.
Sounds like a great birthday, and I always love hearing from players, and it's really remarkable to me how many Major League players still hang out with their parents, appreciate their parents, and how much of that teamwork is involved. It's so big. Oh, we got an excited young fan with looks like his own family back there supporting him for this moment. I'm excited about that. What's your name? What's your question for Daniel?
Hi, my name is Saul Kurz from Brooklyn. Remember, yesterday I was on. I'm a Cleveland Indians fan. Shout out to Lindor. Shout out to Kipnis. Shout out to all those guys. My question for you is, how do you feel playing with a great pitcher like Justin Verlander?
That's a good question because I think I guess as fans you guys don't really get to see how much we value guys like Verlander and Miggy, and the guys have been doing it for so long. Ver's just been, ever since I got traded over here from the Blue Jays, he's been incredible at taking me and the younger guys on our staff under his wing and teaching us essentially how to be a big leaguer and, more importantly, be a big league pitcher and have success. And whether or not he's talking to us about it, we get the opportunity to watch him every fifth day and learn from him, and that's something that I've really come to value heavily is watching him pitch and just learning from him, really.
Great, enthusiastic question from Sal, who doesn't worry that he's only an Indians fan. He wants to hear from everybody, and that's what you hear, folks. That's what's like working with Mr. Verlander. Not a bad deal at all. I go back to the MLB Fans app now, and this one is so well thought out and well written, and it speaks to a lot of questions coming in about Daniel Norris, so we'll get to that one. Ball Hawker 123 wants to know, Mr. Norris, what advice would you give to kids growing up that want to achieve the dream of living in their van intentionally? That's right, it's not baseball this time, it's the lifestyle. You were my inspiration. I did a project about this that got featured in the local newspaper. I hope to gain some knowledge on how you achieved it and what advice you would have for a young person like me.
Oh, that's a good question. I think for me it was just something I always wanted to do. As far as, I always loved the model of the old Volkswagen van, and once I had the opportunity to get one, I knew that I wanted to at least be able to camp in it. Then fast forward to going to spring training, I figured, hey, I might as well, save on rent and just camp out in it for a few weeks. And I kind of done that for a few years now, and it's been really enjoyable for me. It kind of makes you get outside and do stuff. You can't really go take a midday nap and relax. It kind of gets me outside and enjoying the outdoors. But any advice, I'd say just keep it simple. I think the first year I ended up doing it, I had just a lot of stuff, and it was very cramped. And then after that, it's part of, just like baseball, you're always making adjustments. And, I found out what I really needed and what I didn't need, and just made myself more comfortable.
There you have it. Ball Hawker, there's your roadmap. I'm glad the local newspaper featured that. Daniel Norris obviously we've talked about his story a little bit as he enjoys that simple lifestyle in the van, as we admire that as well. Another fan is with us. What's your name? What's your question for Daniel?
How's it going, Daniel? Carlos from LA here. My question to you is, how important is it to build a relationship with your catcher?
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I think, that's huge, really. For me personally, I haven't. It dates back to last year, the last time I shook my catcher off. I think for me, I put faith and trust in them to kind of see the game as well, and it can eliminate the thinking part for me. As if I don't have to shake off, I can just worry about executing the pitch instead of disagreeing with him, and then we get in like a shaking battle, and it kind of just disrupts the rhythm and tempo of the game. So for me, it's just a matter of trusting what he puts down, but also trusting myself to be able to execute that pitch and make that guy swing and miss.
Thank you, Carlos, for that question. Great insight into that relationship in the battery for Daniel Norris and his catchers. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm JB. That is Daniel Norris, also known as Daniel Norris 18 on social media. And if you haven't caught him there, you definitely want to check it out. Instagram photos are unbelievable. One of the greatest photos collection you'll see there. What's your name, fan? What's your question for Daniel?
My name is Bryce, and I'm from Cleveland. My question is, who do you think is the biggest rival, like the biggest game of the year for you as a pitcher? Like, what is the biggest team to face for you? What is
Well, I guess you're from Cleveland, so I assume you're an Indians fan, but that's always, at least since I've been here, that's always been a very big series for us. Last year they kind of had our number. I know I pitched against them a couple times last year, and then I threw against them this year once, and we just we get amped up for it. It's a big series. They're always competitive. We want to be competitive, and so I think going into that, there's a lot of extra adrenaline. At least, kind of just we want to stake our claim and get the ball rolling with a couple W's.
There it is, just describing the great rivalry between those two teams. Bryce, thank you for firing up the laptop there and getting involved with the show and being part of the conversation. As I said, Daniel Norris 18 on Instagram. I go back now to the MLB Fans app, and it was there's a lot of great questions coming in, but we'll follow up on that idea of rivalries. This is from Tigers Baseball 24. Daniel, who's the toughest batter to pitch against? Go Tigers! That was both parts of the question.
So far in my career, and luckily he's retired now, but facing David Ortiz was always a battle. I can go back to 2014 in September when I made my major league debut. He was the first batter I ever faced, and I actually struck him out on a 3-2 curveball. but it seemed like every at bat after that he got a hit off of me. So it was always a battle. I mean, he took big hacks on every pitch he threw, but he also had contact, and I mean, that was I just can remember some of those battles that go 3-2, and he just foul off a bunch of balls, and then I'd have to make a pitch, not trying to walk him, and he'd put it in play, or hit a couple homers off me too, I think. But yeah, he was probably the toughest batter I had to face. A lot of people miss him. Maybe you don't miss him quite as much. It's not so bad that he retired for you. That's okay. It's good to hear you understand. You remember that too, as that first batter to face. Welcome to the league. Yeah. Unbelievable there. Yeah. Daniel, I know it is a workout day for you. Did you have a good time talking with fans today, hanging out a little bit? Yeah, that was great. I think it was a really good opportunity. It's always cool to, I guess, give you guys some insight into, what we do, whether it's off the field or on the field. We really enjoy being able to have this opportunity to play Major League Baseball, but also the support from you all. It's great.
Absolutely true. I echo that. Fans, without you, I got to do a lot more work, and you know me. I really appreciate the job that you do asking the questions. That's Daniel Norris. I'm JB. We'll see you the next time we set up the pitches on the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.